All right. I want to do this little bit. For one, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to dealing with the IRS, and I like to see what's going on, and I have a migraine, so I apologize if I start squinting or something, but we talked about the Internal Revenue Manual, the IRM, and it's probably the one book or the one tool that taxpayers are often made unaware of, and it's going to be the most important often in settling your debt, especially if you're dealing with a revenue officer or an examination or revenue agent. So I wanted to kind of go over this. Here's the main, and I just searched IRS IRM. That's all I did, and it just pops right up. So you can see the parts. This is kind of like the IRS handbook, and it's so powerful, and it's really very interesting to read. Again, I'm a little bit of an IRS nerd, so what I find interesting, you may find appalling and boring and all that good stuff. But there are going to be a few areas that you deal with as a taxpayer. So the examining process, that's if you get audited. The collecting process, that's the collection when you have a bill you can't pay. Rulings and agreements, appeals is going to be pretty important. Hopefully you're never part of the criminal investigation aspect, but it's here. Artificial intelligence, security, communications and liaison, these are going to be partners in the field. Taxpayer advocate service, penalty and interest, you'll deal with that. And you may deal with some of these down here, but for the most part, these are going to be the main areas that you're dealing with. And when you go here, and let's just say we're going to deal with the collecting process. And these are all of the breakdowns of the topics that are in this area. And they're by, we've got field collecting procedures, we have reports, entity, case management systems, decedent estates, case processing, collateral agreements. Pretty cool, actually. Trust fund compliance. This is for people that owe payroll taxes for companies and for business owners or employers that owe payroll taxes, offering compromise, bankruptcy, everything that you need to know on how the IRS is going to approach that angle or that topic. Now, as cool as this is, it's constantly being updated with changes to it, but it takes time because it's a great big facility process. It's like a big wheel that the IRS is churning out here. And when they have made changes, it takes time for them to get those changes solidified, put into words, put on paper, reviewed and everything to make sure it's appropriate, and then to get them actually updated in the IRM. That takes time. So whenever you're dealing with this, it's a good rule of thumb to just come over here to this where we were before, IRS downloads. Actually, if you just go to, you can probably just save this, but I went to static files directory, which is where we were for notices, which was down here, but we are instead going to go to IRM. And right here, these are the updates to the IRM that are coming. They are just not in the IRM itself. So this is where you go to see if there's any recent updates. If you have, we see 8.11.5. So let's go over here to IRM Part 8. Like, okay, so we know this deals with appeals, right? 8.11.5. So now we're going to go down to 8.1, 8.7, 8.11. It goes right here, 8.11.5. So we're going to see this area, this whole 8.11.5, this is now being updated. And it was uploaded to the IRS today, September 29th, 2025. And I've just dated this video, but it doesn't matter because you're going to know that some things just don't change hardly ever at all. So if you're watching this video 10 years from now, it probably would still be helpful. Hopefully, 10 years from now, I'm retired and hopefully you have no problems. Wouldn't that be nice? So anyhow, you can kind of see what's going on. You download it and it's I've already downloaded it, so you'll see it. Okay, so now you're going to see, here's the updated version. And it's, gosh, how many pages is this thing? 36. So eventually, this will replace this. This information will be here. And how far down does this go? So we're looking to see this was appeals. This doesn't really affect most people. I mean, obviously it affects people, but the majority of the taxpayers that aren't using a professional are not going to deal with international penalties. Let's look at 8.11.8. Again, that's in the same area, 8.11.8, right here, miscellaneous penalties. So this might be applicable because this is miscellaneous penalties, but you can see that this has been updated. So you would not be using this section right here. You would actually have to use this section. So you want to make sure that whatever you're reviewing hasn't been updated. So let's look at appeals 8.22.4. Let's go back over here. And most people are going to remember this, but it is important to know, especially if you are representing yourself, or even if you're a professional, you need to know. So 8.22.4, right here, collection due process appeals program. So we need to know what the changes were. And as you can see, this one was already updated September 24th, 25. So that was already in the system, which is pretty amazing because they're quite fast. This one just hasn't been updated yet because it just happened today, but it will be updated soon. But you can see here how you know you're dealing with the most recent one, September 24th, 2025. You come over here. Yep, September 24th, 2025. So now you're dealing with the newest information. Let's come over here. I thought I saw something for part 5. It should be updated, but let's see if it has. Part 5.18.1, automated substitute for return program. Well, that's pretty important. So we need to make sure that we have the most recent one up there, 9/11/25. So you can look to see it just came out, but I don't know what changes were made because I don't have the original one. So we can look to see how this is going to change, what they've done. And this is pretty important because this is going to be for your non-filers. We need to know what changes have been made, what the program has, and it tells you what, like, so this was updated 25, and let's see if we can figure out this part right here was changed in September 11th, 25. So you can see when this piece right here was changed. This piece right here was in 2017. This was in 3/11/2020. This changed, roles and responsibilities. What else changed? That changed. And then that was as of 2017. That stayed the same. That changed in 23, 2020, 16. So hopefully it's enough that you can kind of see. So let's look at this prioritization. AS, automated substitute for return prioritization. I can't even, it's a hard word to say. ASFR menu only was developed to allow for flexibility. Buckets identify separate inventory types, can be prioritized based on business needs. Inventories organized by refund hold. High income non-filer. I don't know what FERDI means, and tax year. So refund hold inventory is organized according to the number of weeks. Since the refund hold indicator was set, tax year is organized by categories for net tax due. Priorities on a weekly basis and performed by headquarters. And so it's really great though. It just kind of lets you know what they're doing and how they're prioritizing things. So let's see, the ASFR screen priority field will be displayed as priority bucket. Selection holds. Let's see, what else do we have? Anything else for 2025? Pay your agent $100 coordinator. ASFR system security, protection of taxpayer accounts, find delinquent accounts. I would say CP36 or Cs. Probably more than you ever wanted to know about the automated substitute for return process or system, but let's see. ASFR systemically computes taxable income in all modules. That's interesting. Computed tax due. ASFR systemically calculates tax penalties and interest due on all proposed assessments. ASFR systemically calculates tax penalties and interest to 28 days from the issuance date of the 30-day letter. So you can see here how they do certain things, how they generate it, what it shows up on the transcript. It's just so powerful. Statutory notice of deficiency, conclusion, blah, blah, blah. If there's no sufficient response, ASFR requests to check to ensure that ASFR processing should proceed. If a module passes the TIP check, ASFR generates a statutory notice of deficiency. The 90-day letter is fully automated. This letter gives the taxpayer 90 days to respond. The system suspends the module for X days from the day of the 90-day letter to allow taxpayer time to respond. The letter is sent by certified mail. A post office stamped original certified mail list should be received from the national print site and maintained by campus for each weekly 90-day mail out. If the certified list is not received, open, blah, 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 retire certified listings to the Federal Record Center after 3 years. So anyhow, great information for a taxpayer to get in here. But if they don't understand or know where to go, then this is useless to them because they don't know that it exists. But anyhow, we will move on, but I wanted to make sure that you knew how to find this in the event of you're using the IRM and you wanted to make sure that you had the most recent one, or if you wanted to see what recent changes had happened to see if anything had changed since the last time you had worked on a case or worked on your case. So hopefully this helps. And that's it. Take care and bye for now.